yeah, you can literally do it right now. And I promise you, in 10 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever, you're just going to be on track. And it's going to help you down the line, even though immediately you may not see it. So I'm the bald asshole here. I'm just going to level with you. I'm just going to be completely honest. We had another video that we were going to do today. My camera hates me. It completely broke down. It's thrown my day into disarray. So what I thought I'd do is very, very awesomely, I had a bunch of new people join the channel. Thank you so much for everyone that subscribed. It means the world to me. I genuinely mean that. And I keep getting questions like, oh, can you tell us a bunch of simple things to do to get in shape, to get bigger muscles? And we did that video a few months ago, but I thought, well, I'll do a shortened version now, and I can just throw it out there, which means we actually get content today, and then hopefully all the brand new people that have come aboard can get this video. And as I always say, take my advice, but go out there, read other people's stuff, watch other people's stuff, educate yourself as best you can, because maybe you do agree with me, maybe you don't. It's horses for courses. You've got to find what works for you. But yeah, look, the cool thing about this, I think, is that these are all things, 5 things you can do today, right now, which will help you get in better shape. And then sort of, from that, as like a weird connective tissue, also help you increase your muscles because you're doing good things elsewhere. When you see other videos like this, they will go, take the magic pill and you'll get massive. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying these all build up to the point that you are, well, just reacting and acting better as a human, which then, of course, allows you to get jacked. Number 5 is drink more water. Nobody drinks enough water. Not true. Some people obviously do. But you need to be making sure you're hydrated at all times. As soon as you're thirsty, you're dehydrated, and then it's too late. You should never be feeling thirsty. It sucks. And I'll tell you this too. When you do first increase your water load, you are going to be in the toilet all the time, and it's going to absolutely suck. You don't want to spend more time in the toilet because the world is great and you just want to go and run and frolic in the fields. But eventually your bladder will get used to it and so on and so forth. And it just stands to reason. It doesn't make your muscles bigger, but there are so many other things that it do. Obviously, humans are made up of water, basically. So if you're not hydrating yourself, you're not hydrating your muscles. And how are you going to be able to recover if your muscles are dehydrated? That sucks. Also, if you are an active person, you're going to be sweating. So you want to make sure that you, not replicate, whatever the stupid word is. Now everyone's in the comments is going to tell me. See, it's a bad day. But you need to get that water back in because you sweated it out. So you need to, and also the other thing is, if you don't get enough water in, you'll bloat. Because your body will start storing water and then you'll look like crap, which is the exact opposite of what we're trying to do. And also, it has so many benefits. It even has some crazy benefits, like it will make your skin better, it will make you feel better, it'll make you more awake. And of course, if you're on a diet and a strict calorie diet, if you drink, don't drink too much water because people have died. I said that before. But if you can kind of use water as a hunger, to stop your hunger. Because your stomach is just your stomach. And if you fill it up with a bunch of water, if you drink like a liter of water, you're not going to want to eat food because your stomach will have stuff in it. I tell you, I try to drink anywhere from 6 to 8 liters of water a day. And ever since I started doing that, I feel so much better. And before that one guy, you drink too much water. I drink the amount of water that works for me. You want to go? I'll give you my address and we'll go. Number 4 is weigh your food. I still find this amazing that people don't do this. And admittedly, other people have said that they find it really stressful. Do not do it if it's stressing you out. That is not the point of lifting weights. It's meant to be a positive, happy thing that we all do. So absolutely do not do it if it's stressing you out. But, if you weigh your food, you know what you're taking in and you can figure out your calories and your macronutrients. And the real reason you want to do that is, I guess if you're bulking, who really cares? But, once you start getting to the point where you need to enter a calorific deficit, how do you know what to take away? You can't just go, say you have rice. I'm just going to take away a handful of rice. Well, what does that mean? Are you going to grab the same handful every day? Sometimes is it going to be more? Sometimes is it going to be less? You're leaving too many things up to chance. You need to be very specific and a bit like a massive geek and a massive nerd when it comes to these things. And I tell you, once you get into it, it's easy. It becomes routine. And there is something quite fascinating about knowing, what is what. And you'll learn very, very quickly that the back of packets lie to you. So 1 wrap equals this. And then you weigh the wrap and then you do the math next to the 100 grams and the two don't equate at all because how do they know? No, if you buy a pack of wraps, not every single wrap is going to weigh the same. The companies try and do that, but it's literally impossible. So start weighing your food. It just allows you to know where you are. It allows you to know where you're going to go. And again, you could, like the drinking water one, you can do that today. Whatever your next meal is, Smash out those scales, order some on Amazon right now, probably turn up in 2 minutes. That's what Amazon are doing. I had a delivery guy here earlier who told me that ever since the global pandemic lockdown, they have an extra 1,000 Amazon orders a day. And that's just in my area. A day. I live in a big area. But yeah, you can literally do it right now. And I promise you, in 10 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever, you're just going to be on track. And it's going to help you down the line, even though immediately you may not see it. Number 3 is try and eat whole foods. Now, some bodybuilders don't do this. Like Jay Cutler always sticks to whole foods. He doesn't like supplements. And there's another one that I can't remember now who basically lives off protein shakes. And there's no real right or wrong. But I used to be quite supplement heavy, especially because I used to be running around and doing this and doing that. And my food prep kind of sucked, which I've now sorted out. But I found, honestly, when I stopped drinking as many protein shakes, because of course the clue is in the name, supplement, you shouldn't be using them as your main source of protein. But once I went back to proper whole foods where you can actually sort of, get the nutrition out of them, everything helped so much. Like I just felt better if nothing else, which then helped me in the gym. And I just think it's a much better way. I think it's a better lifestyle to have. I know it sucks because everything costs so much money. And that's the hardest thing about getting into bodybuilding or fitness or whatever is trying to justify that cost and trying to budget for it. You just have to do what you can, essentially. But if you do find yourself relying on, whatever supplement of your choice is, or weight gainer shakes or whatever, absolutely try and revert back to whole foods because you see a benefit. Also, when it comes to whole foods too, it's unlikely, you know what you're taking in, right? Because you want to stay away from processed foods too. The only reason processed foods are so bad for you is because they just stick a bunch of chemicals in it. If you're actually cooking sort of whole natural foods, you know that you're eating sort of as basic as you can. And that's what you want to do. I've got nothing against refined sugars or, fake sugars, whatever the hell you want to call it. Look, they have their pros and they have their cons. Again, it's up to you to decide what you want to do. And I think sometimes you tune into these videos and you have people yelling at you, don't eat phenylalanine or whatever the hell it's called. It's like, well, maybe the way I see it is this. If you want to have a fizzy drink, for example, a diet fizzy drink, and it's got one of those sweeteners in it, if it's going to stop you binging out, I think you should just do it, personally speaking. Again, I do that from time to time, but the reason I don't is because I tried it for a while and it makes me break out in spots. Who knows why? So I just don't do it, but I know I have the choice. I think the more doors that you close, the more stressful you're going to make it. And again, as I've always said, I think fitness and health and all that should be the antithesis of that. You shouldn't be doing it at all. So again, something you can do today if you're planning your shopping and usually you're buying, things that aren't whole foods, just try the switch. I promise you it will work. Number 2 comes down to when you're actually in the gym. So maybe you've got a session planned today. Just forget strength for the time being and concentrate on your form. That doesn't mean you go down to 2 kilogram dumbbells and all start doing that. But I'm just saying, let me phrase it another way. Watch your form next time you're in the gym, because I totally believe a large percentage of people are lifting too much weight and they're not focusing on form, so they're not seeing the actual progress that they want to. Form is the most important thing. And even if you have to strip the weight right back down and start again from scratch, certainly, you'll get to where you need to be quicker because you're used to lifting weights. But it will absolutely see you get bigger and stronger and whatever quicker, which sounds counterproductive, right? Because what most people have been taught is lift heavy, which is true. If you want to be a strong man, you should absolutely be going for 1 rep maxes. But if you're trying to make your body look better, quote unquote, obviously a lot more goes into it than just this. But let's say you're going to do bicep curls today and you'll be doing 50 kilograms. I don't know what that is in pounds. Strip it to 25 kilograms and just really focus on both sides of the rep. The up rep and the down rep, or the constant, eccentric, and whatever the hell the words are. I don't care. People are saying, you should know that. Well, I don't. What are you going to do? Nothing. I don't care. So make sure when you're at the top, you give it a squeeze, and make sure when you go back down, because even in the gym, which I haven't been to in a while, but when I was, you just see guys, their range of motion is so tiny. Like, there's such a tiny percentage. And I'm like, man, just take off 5. If you just take off 5 kilograms, just so that you can really feel the squeeze, you will get to where you want to go quicker. And one of the major questions I always get is, should I be training heavy? Should I be training heavy? Yes, but form first. So you find out where sort of you're going to start hitting failure around 10, 12, 14 reps. That's the weight you want to do. And of course you need to do progressive overload, put an extra 1 kilogram on next week, but never, ever, ever sacrifice your form. If you get to the point where the weight is too much, stick with the same weight, but rather than do the 12 reps you did the previous week, now do 13, do 14. There are many, many ways to achieve progressive overload. And the more I've gotten into this fitness YouTube stuff and the more people's things that I watch, get a lot of bros basically go strength. This isn't It's not an ego competition. I mean, it is to a certain extent because we all want to look good, but it really doesn't matter how much you can lift in the gym. Unless you're a power lifter and a strongman, nobody cares. And if they do, the problem is them, so flub them. And number one, again, I've said this 1,000 times, but for all the new guys, and thank you so much, increase your training volume. I get it, I've been there. You always get told, or at least I did when I was getting into it, you train chest once a week, you train back once a week, you train arms once a week, you train legs once a week, you train shoulders once a week. You can throw them together in a big pot and then you do it again. Don't do that. Train them twice a week. I promise you, it's the best thing that I'd ever done. And it kind of drove me nuts because I've been training for a good 12, 15 years before I started to do this. And then within sort of 2 years, I'd made such more progress than I had in like my previous 5. Again, because the maths is sound. If you're doing once a week, how many times have I said this? Once a week is 52 times a year. Twice a week is 104. So make sure you just do it. Not necessarily if you're a novice lifter, you've got plenty of time to doing that. But if you're moderate to advanced, now is the time. Now is the time. So again, make sure you're hitting every single muscle group twice a week. Yes, you've still got to give yourself time to rest. Listen to your body. You don't have to do the same thing every single week. This isn't. It's not a memory test. You have to listen to yourself and adapt as and where you see fit. But twice a week training. Again, my favorite training split is we'll call it day 1, day 2, day 3, and so on. Day 1 push, day 2 pull, day 3 legs, rest, repeat. It's the best thing I've ever done. And if even one person decides to do that and sees a benefit, I'll be the happiest man ever. Unprovable, but true. And there we go, boom. I'm sorry to kind of repeating content. That is not something I'm going to get into a habit of, but it is very nice. So many new subscribers have come. They ask me these questions. I try and copy and paste the link to the old video, but they keep on coming. So I thought it just makes so much more sense to do a new one. We'll go back to the more creative, fun stuff tomorrow. I will get the video I did today done again. Oh, absolute nightmare day. But it's all good. It's all good. Thank you as always for joining me. Like the video, share the video, subscribe, smash the bell button at Simon316 on social media, patreon.com/Simon316. Click one of these videos on the screen right now, and I'll see you soon.